Hello guys, welcome back to another video here where I rant about random things or just talk about things in general. If you don't like hearing me talk, well, you have some nice Minecraft gameplay in the background to watch of me building on my world that I've worked on for nearly a decade, just, on and off. And you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title. Today's going to be a little bit different than some of my other topics because some of my other topics were more like, not controversial, but like kind of more deep. Now, granted, when it comes to relationships, we can get deep on here about relationships. It's not about that, but it's going to be like kind of more broad versus, going in depth with things. And I shouldn't get as sidetracked as I normally do in today's video, but, with me, you never really know. There is definitely the off chance that I get distracted and say something that I wouldn't be don't need to talk about in the video because it wouldn't have anything to do with the title or thumbnail. And I feel like sometimes YouTube doesn't like when I do that, and it like makes it to where my video won't go out there. But I feel like trying to get a video out there on YouTube is next to impossible. But I've accomplished a lot of impossible things in my life, so I'm willing to test the boundaries with that and just try to do crazy stuff and whatnot, especially in videos, just talking about random stuff or talking about things to be more positive about because of how negative things are in the world right now. And you'll hear me say that a lot in every video that I make because I try to thrive to be a positive person compared to a lot of the negative stuff that you see on a day-to-day basis. It's pretty wacky. But I've already gotten off topic here, but let's get on track here. And yeah, anyways, as I'm avoiding talking about what my video is supposed to be about because it's already 2 minutes in the video and I haven't even mentioned what I'm talking about. But it basically goes like this. Take your girlfriend out on a date. It doesn't matter what kind of date it is. It could be a small date, could be a big date, could be an expensive date, could be a small date that doesn't require that much money spending. In all honesty, you really don't need to spend a lot of money to take your girlfriend out on a date, because you could literally do something as simple as taking her out on a picnic, taking her out for a walk at a park, or along the ocean, along a lake. It really doesn't matter where you take her, but just take her out on a date, man. I just feel like it's not something a lot of guys do anymore. I mean, granted, things are more expensive nowadays, and a lot of people are, continuously working to try to keep up with how expensive everything is, like gas, groceries, just all the normal necessities, or even trying to get a house in today's market is ridiculous. And you just feel like you have to continuously work for, 40 to 80 hours a week, and that gives you not much time to not only yourself, but, to go do things out in the world, like taking your girlfriend out on a date. And this video is not meant to like throw shade at anyone who doesn't take their girl out on a date, because I understand that life gets busy and it's not easy to always take your girlfriend out on a date, but at least just try to make time once every 3 months if you have a busy lifestyle. Now, to people who aren't busy, take your girlfriend out at least 1 to 3 times a month. And I know that's a lot and it might get repetitive, but try to come up with something new every single time that you take your girlfriend out on a date. It doesn't have to be a restaurant. It doesn't have to be a walk. It doesn't have to be food related. You could literally go on a date for any reason. Go watch a movie. Go, maybe color a freaking coloring book. It's really as simple as that. And I feel like people overcomplicate, taking people out on a dates. And it's really, honestly, not that complicated. Like, I take my girlfriend out on a date like probably 5 to 10 times a month. And granted, I've had a lot of free time lately. That's why I've been pretty consistent on uploads on here. But I've always enjoyed our little dates, and that's literally something as simple as us going to like go get fast food, and we sit in the lobby and just enjoy our food and talk to each other. I feel like also when people take their significant others out on dates, they just don't pay attention to them, whether they're on their phone the entire time, or they're trying to talk to them, and just no one's listening to each other. And you see that a lot when you're out and about. You'll see couples out you know, having lunch, and they're both on their phones, not making any interactions with each other at all. And it blows my mind how common that is nowadays. You know, we're all stuck on our phones and just not paying attention to our surroundings or what's important in life, especially, you know, your significant other. You know, there's a lot of relationships out there that don't last because, you know, we're too focused on what's going on around us and not ourselves or our significant other. Don't get me wrong, there is a lot of, you know, guys out there or even girls that have been hurt or, you know, have run into their fair share of horrible people, and, you know, that may lead you to like, oh, I don't want to go out on a date because I don't want to get attached, and so on and so forth, because I've been in that situation before where I got scared to, you know, not only put myself out there, but continue to go out of my way to go above and beyond because of the fear of, you know, growing attached and having to repeat the cycle. And I got out of that cycle by living behind the mindset of live every day like it's your last, because you really only have one life to live on this planet. And, you know, I can't waste my time dwelling over the past that, you know, hurt me. And, you know, there's always the off chance that I get hurt again, but that's not going to change who I am when it comes to, you know, being in a relationship or just how I am with other people. I can't let someone determine how I want to not only live my life, but treat other people. And, you know, people suck. But at the end of the day, I'm always going to be nice to everyone around me or treat others with, you know, respect. Even people who've hurt me, I treated with respect. And, you know, you might look at that as a bad thing. Like, oh, you know, people use other people because of that. And, you know, I get that, but I'm not going to change who I am because another person is bad. And you know, there's always a line that I always hear where you know, kill somebody with kindness. You really can do that because, you know, usually people who are mean or, you know, not necessarily bully people, but, you know, hurt others, it's because of their own stuff that they're going through, and they're projecting that pain onto you so that you feel the same way as them. And if you don't let that happen to you, then they lose and you win at the end of the day. That is the main reason that I dedicate this channel to so much positivity, to try to not only help you guys out, but having that safe space that you can talk about whatever you feel that you want to talk about, and not feel like you have to worry about what other people think about you, or, you know, judge you for things, because I'm not the type of person to judge. You know, every person goes through stuff, and every person has their own thing going for them, and, you know, there's never a reason to judge anybody. And I've had times where I really did judge people because of my own insecurities, because I was going through my stuff and figured, well, it'll make me feel better if I judge them. And in reality, it really doesn't. It might, you know, make you feel better in the moment, but it's just a lot of negativity, and negativity or negative energy is just all in all bad. I definitely don't recommend being negative, and trying to live more of a positive lifestyle really improves how you see the world, or, you know, you perceive the world. And a friend told me that as well, because I always seem to look at things more negatively, and he always told me to look at things more positively, especially like on the road, like when I road rage. There's ways of looking at that in a more positive way that just makes you less angry all the time, or, you know, less negative all the time. And I adore it so much. But see, I've already gotten sidetracked of what the whole video was, and that's how I am in pretty much every video. So if you enjoy listening to me kind of yap about, you know, a little bit of what the title is about, or just things in general, because I talk a lot about life, or a lot of things that I'm going through, or, you know, things that every person goes through on a day-to-day basis, please consider hitting that subscribe button, especially if you've made it this far in the video. That clearly shows that you enjoy my content, or at least enjoy listening to me talk about, you know, anything in general. So again, please hit that subscribe button and leave a like on the video, and you know, share around or comment something that you want me to talk about, because it boosts the video when you do that. Especially, you know, watching the video until the full length of it really does help the video get out there, because I want the channel to grow, but I don't want it to grow to a significant amount, because talking in front of a large audience is freaking terrifying. And I don't mind my video getting out to a couple hundred people, because, you know, that's manageable. If it gets, you know, past that, then it gets, you know, terrifying, and I get scared of, you know, how people will perceive me. And, you know, when I talk about things, you know, people judge. My shorts always do pretty decent. Sometimes YouTube shadow bans me and my shorts don't do good, but at the end of the day, I could care less about views and whatnot. It just, sometimes it sucks when I spend a lot of time making a video and it doesn't do well. And then like a short, I put minimal effort into and it does very well, and I'm like, okay, what the heck. But yeah, if you learned anything from this video, please take your girlfriend on a date. It's, you know, not that hard. And but at the end of the day, I love my girlfriend a ton, and I would give that woman the world if I could. And it really genuinely doesn't matter how poor I get or how little money I have. I will always find a way to take her out on a date, or just take her out in general. Doesn't have to be big, doesn't even have to be small, just something simple. Even if, you know, I'm struggling with money at any point, I will literally go out into the woods and like make it to like where we do like a scavenger hunt to try to find as many rocks as we can. You know, just little things like that. And if your significant other doesn't appreciate little things like that, then maybe they're not the one for you. And I know that's a hard thing to take from, you know, a random guy on the internet, but, you know, really think about who you're with and who you're willing to spend the rest of your life with, because, you know, there's a lot of bad people out there. And I'm looking out for you guys. I don't want you guys to end up with someone who's going to use you or cheat on you or take advantage of you, because none of you queens out there deserve that. But yeah, anyways, this video is mainly for my girlfriend, to show how much I appreciate her. And, you know, if I know that she watches these videos to the very end, and I want her to know that she is an amazing person, and she makes me happy in ways that I cannot describe, because there's not really a word out there to describe the happiness she fulfills in my soul. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, make sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you guys around. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't know when that'll be, since, you know, your boy got the job. And I'll try to, you know, make time for videos here and there. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.